Back, we are getting set for game 2 of our doubleheader between Pierre and Aberdeen. Joe McClure alongside Blake Dean, as it is starting lineup. I get the lineup on my phone. We're going to get some lineups maybe here coming up in just a moment, but the starting lineup for Pierre will be Carter Shufflebein. That'll be playing third. He'll be leading things off. Sutton Sunshine will bat second and play left field. Miles Doyle, the second baseman, will bat third. Dawson Guest, the shortstop, will bat fourth. J.J. Buckles, the first baseman, will bat fifth. Grayson Hunsley, the DH, will bat sixth. It'll be the Charlie Simpson, the right fielder, batting eighth. George Stalley will make that Charlie Simpson batting seventh and playing right field. George Stalley will bat eighth and play center. And Nolan Peterson is catching, and he will be batting ninth with Cooper Twilliger on the mound for Post 8 here in game number 2. We don't have Aberdeen's lineup quite yet, so we'll be looking forward to getting that here in just a moment. But the Eights will be throwing Cooper Twilliger on the mound for the game number 2 of our doubleheader. We'll take another break. We'll take another 3-minute break, come back, and hopefully get first pitch for you coming up next. Back in 3 minutes here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Wagner Auto Company is your complete transportation headquarters. Now is the time to order your new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, plus a good selection of quality pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles. They'll take care of you after the sale with a full-service parts and auto body shop with trained technicians, along with a friendly financing team that'll work with you to find the best deal and one that'll fit your budget. Wagner Auto is your local full-service family-owned dealership for over 115 years. WagnerAuto.com. That's WagnerAuto.com. Yag Air Incorporated is your locally owned ag, chemical, and seed retailer. Yag Air Incorporated offers reliable ground and aerial application. For the latest seed and chemical pricing, contact Kyle at 605-280-8710 or Tony at 605-280-4771. Yag Air for all your ag, chemical, and seed needs. Kyle, 605-280-8710 or Tony, 605-280-4771.
Sometimes you get a piece of it and the ball sails over the fence. Other times, despite your best efforts, you strike out. I'm not just talking about the game, I mean your day. This is Pastor Sam of Faith Lutheran Church. Whether today feels like a home run or a strikeout, I encourage you to join us for worship. We celebrate when God gives us a wonderful day. We provide support and encouragement when that third strike comes. Come join us for encouraging and uplifting worship at Faith Lutheran Church.
Well, we are set, ready to go for game 2 of our doubleheader as Post 8 and Aberdeen are getting ready to go as Cooper Twilliger is on the mound, and we are just about ready to go for game number 2. And it will be Drew Southfrank to lead things off for Aberdeen. We'll go through their lineup here in just a moment as Southfrank, who went 3 for 5 in game number 1, is getting set and ready to hit as the first pitch will come in, and a swing and a miss to get us started at 7:08 here for game number 2. So Terwilliger will get the start as he will deliver the 0-1 pitch to Salfrank, and a ground ball over to the third baseman, Schiffelbein. He'll field, he'll tap the glove. The throw to first is going to be in time. The leadoff man is retired to kick off the ball game. On a ground out to the third baseman, just like it was in game number 1, a ground out to the third baseman. As it'll be Jackson Wilkie that will come to the plate. And Jackson Welke that will hit here for the second batter. We got the lineup right as right before first pitch. It's a little bit of a scramble trying to get everything going, but it is a 1-0 count here to Jackson Welke. And I mentioned too that we're a couple hours away from getting the lights turned on. Well, we got the lights on right now because it is a cloudy evening here at Hyde Stadium now. The beautiful day, it's still beautiful to the point of it being temperature-wise, but much more clouds in the sky as the lights are on here for the second game, and we're still, 2.5 hours away from sunset time. Here's a 2-0 from Terwilliger to Welke. There's a line shot foul on the first base side. That counts now 2-1.
I will say the wind has really picked up, though, too, down at field level, because it's quite cold. That wind chill is making things a little bit more chilly down there field level.
So here is the 2-1. That'll be at the knees for a strike, and the count's now 2-2. It's Zane Backus that will be on deck, and then Casey Vining, who is the starting pitcher. He is the number 4 hitter for the Aberdeen Smittys. 2-2 is going to be missing low and away, and the count's now 3-2 here to the number 2 hitter in Jackson Welke. Going to be the first base runner for Aberdeen. Here is the full count pitch. That one's fouled out of play on the right side. And we'll do it again at 3-2. Terwilliger coming in with 14 2/3 innings pitched in his 3 starts. He is 1-2 so far in the season. 12 hits, 11 runs. 7 of those have been earned. 11 walks, 9 strikeouts, 3.34 ERA, a 1.57 whip, and a batting average against at .235. As they'll get a strikeout of Welke, and there's 2 down quickly here in the top of the first. And it brings up number 3 hitter in Zane Backus. To round out the order for Aberdeen, it is going to be Vining that is on deck. Philip Zenz, the shortstop, will bat 5th. It'll be Brendan Livermont that will batting 6th, playing third base. Jackson Ladner, the first baseman, batting 7th. Donnie Soderlund, the right fielder, batting 8th. And Talon Dutenhofer, the catcher, will bat 9th. So no DH, a historic National League lineup for the Aberdeen Smitties. Weird. Still, I always find it funny to say historic National League lineup when there's no DH being used. 1-0 pitch to Backus. That'll be fouled back to the netting, and the count's 1-1.
I mean, and technically it is the historic National League because it's the oldest league in
That is true.
in Major League Baseball.
Here is the 1-1 pitch to Backus. That is high and outside, and the count's now 2-1 to the Aberdeen second baseman here in game number 2. Played second base in game 1. He went 2 for 5 in the ball game with an RBI double. Hit that double with the RBI in the top of the first inning. It counts 3-1 here to Backus.
But to finish that point on the historic National League lineup, I think they consider the pitcher in the DH. The pitcher is a defensive-only position as Backus fouls it off to make it a 3-2 count. They consider the pitcher an exclusively defensive position and the DH an exclusively offensive position. So maybe, they consider Vining in this game the pitcher DH, just depending upon where you put him in the lineup.
Here is the 3-2 pitch. That'll be taken for strike 3, and we'll continue that point into the bottom of the first inning. Cooper Terwilliger gets a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts in the inning. No score out to the end of the top of the first. We at the bottom of the first. Here as post 8 will come to the plate. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Look, it's no secret that owning a vehicle can cause a lot of stress, and they get a lot of wear and tear on them through the extreme seasons we've grown to love. Graham Tire wants you to know that you can trust them with any problem that you have with your vehicle. Their ASE certified mechanics can make your AC cool again, or even just change your oil. They can look into and fix those noises that seem to come from nowhere and have you stressed out. Bring your car to Graham Tire so they can put your mind at ease. Graham Tire, your tire store next door.
Why am I so sore? There are everyday moments.
What? Hey, hold the ladder! Hold the ladder!
Yeah, that hurt. And there are epic moments.
Slide! College! Class of 1995!
When a moment creates a health need, visit the experts at Avera Orthopedics. We're moving health forward so you can tell the story. Learn more at avera.org/orthopedics.
So Casey Vining is the man on the mound for Aberdeen, as the batting order for Post State will look like this. Carter Shufflebein leading things off. He's playing third base here in Game 2. Sutton Sunshine is the left fielder batting second. Miles Doyle, the second baseman, will bat third. Dawson Guest, the shortstop, batting fourth. J.J. Buckles, the first baseman, will bat fifth. Grayson Hunsley, the DH, batting sixth. Charlie Simpson will bat seventh, play right field. George Staley, the center fielder, batting eighth. And Nolan Peterson, the catcher, rounding out the order for the Eights here in Game number 2. As they go against Casey Vining, who, as Blake had mentioned in game number 1, a guy that hasn't thrown a whole lot so far. This is only his third appearance, but his second start. 7 2/3 innings so far. Does have a win. 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. Has 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, a 3.65 ERA, and a 1.30 whip for Vining, and a batting average against it 267. And it will be Shufflebein that will step to the plates and go against Vining, who the Eights will be looking for a much better outing at the plate in game number 2, having just 1 hit and 2 base runners in the first ball game. Here is the first pitch from Vining to Shufflebein, over for strike 1, as the train making its way through here at Hyatt Stadium. We're going to hear a little bit more of that when we get to Minot this weekend.
It's your favorite place to train watch is the Minot Ballpark. That and listen to the Monkeys.
This will be a ground ball to the right side, the field by the second baseman Backus, and the quick throw to retire Shufflebein. And he is out to open up the bottom of the first inning. And we'll bring up now Sutton Sunshine. Yeah, the trains are louder than any other spot when you're sitting in the grandstand at Corbett Field in Minot. You don't hear the monkeys from the zoo until you get outside of the grandstand.
Outside, right.
So
those howler monkeys are loud.
So yeah, you won't hear them on the broadcast unless I put a random wireless mic outside of the grandstand areas. It counts 1-1 here to Sutton Sunshine. But it was funny because I had taken a picture of the Mandan Field, and I said one of the best fields, that isn't in South Dakota. There's a ground ball up the third base line, fielded by the third baseman in the hole. The throw to first is not going to be in time, and Sunshine will get an infield single on a good play by Livermont, who fielded the ball and was out in the outfield foul territory when he threw the ball across, and ended up Sunshine to get a base hit, and the first hit for Post State. They get their first base runner on before Aberdeen gets their first base runner on, and the Eights have already matched their hit total from game number 1 with an infield single by Sunshine. First pitch to Miles Doyle is upstairs for ball 1.
If I remember right, too, going back to your point about Minot and the trains, I think one of your first times going up there was there was a train that had gone through, and then like in that same at bat or shortly thereafter, Cade Hinkle hit a home run.
I think you're right.
Or if not, it was in the same game. I mean, that's one of the things that I remember
Which
most about, watching that, because I think I was either watching that because, Bennett was playing at that time, or was in the stands and just watched the game afterwards just because I went to watch the home run call. But, that was one of the things I remembered was train came through, and I think shortly thereafter, Hinkle hits a home run as a strikeout of Doyle for out number 2 gets the shortstop.
So what you're saying is now that a train has gone through, maybe we'll see Dawson get second home run of the season.
Hey, I'm not making that call, but I wouldn't be mad.
Not putting that in the universe quite yet. As the first pitch is on the inside corner to Dawson Gets for strike 1. Runner on first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Sunshine with the infield single. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That'll be a curveball that gets froze on and hit the bottom of the zone. That counts quickly 0-2. And Vining's looking for a second strikeout and put an end to this first inning after having the one-out infield single. 0-2 pitch. Getz will get a piece of it and foul it back. He really reached for it and lunged for it and was able to foul it back to the netting. And if that ball had been a little bit to the right and a little bit more oomph behind it, could have made its way back here. It was probably not going to, but 0-2 pitch again. Runner takes off. That will get to the backstop. And to second goes Sunshine. He's going to try and go to third. The throw will come in. He will slide in head first safely. And Sunshine will steal second and take third on the wild pitch. And he is in scoring position. And the first man that has gotten into scoring position for Post State past first base. Or I guess, well, the second guy, Pierce with the double. But the first guy to reach third for the Eights here today. And a chance for an early first inning lead for the Eights. 1-2 pitch. Gets with a fly ball to right field. Coming in and then backing up as the right fielder in Soderlund to make the catch and retire the side here in the first. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We get at the top of the second. No score between Aberdeen and Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your healthcare is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
Most of us already know that Gale's Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gale's Gas at 224-5518. That's Gale's Gas at 224-5518.
It is the top of the second. No score on American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard, as it will be 4, 5, and 6 for Aberdeen. Casey Vining, the pitcher, Philip Zenz, the shortstop, and Brandon Livermount, the third baseman. Looking at maybe a little bit of some rain around the area, obviously why we got the lights on and everything like that, but it is not so much raining here at Hyde Stadium. Everybody is still outside the cover right now. But we are going to watch a little bit of, it's just going to be a shower. Shouldn't be more than that. I say that, hopefully we don't end up jinxing it and have a lightning somewhere in the area. But Casey Vining will lead things off. The pitcher here in this ball game, first time to the plate. A .448 batting average, 4 home runs, 6 doubles, a triple, 31 runs driven in for Vining. As he is by stats, is going to be hit by a pitch from the first pitch he sees. And Terwilliger will, that might be one way to neutralize his power, is to hit him. Obviously, don't do it on purpose, but it'll be the first base runner for Aberdeen, and Vining will make his way down the first base bag. Leadoff man is on base.
Yeah, you're right. And maybe the way to neutralize the power of Vining is to put him on base and put a ball, right in his back. And of course, like we talked about, you don't want to do that intentionally. That's not the way that you approach that. But after Cooper Terwilliger fastball hits you in the lower part of the back, you might not be maybe throwing at 100% or hitting at 100% for that matter.
You might end up finding yourself a little bit more tentative at the plate next time you go up. Now, we're not endorsing guys getting hit
exactly.
And throwing at guys, but after it's now happened, maybe that could work in Post State's favor a little bit. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That'll miss low, and the count's now 2-0 here to Philip Zenz, the shortstop, who in game number 1 went 1 for 4 with a base hit, 9 hits for Aberdeen in that game 1 win, 8-0 over Post State. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That'll miss low, and the count's now 3-1. And for Terwilliger, when he throws well, and that's kind of saying the same thing for everybody, is that he doesn't walk a whole lot of guys. That was only the second guy he's hit. He's had 11 walks in 14 2/3 innings. As the 3-0 pitch will come in here to Philip Zenz and taken for a strike, the count's now 3-1. But if he throws well and does not walk guys. He is a hard pitcher to hit by stat-wise and by length-wise. He's a hard pitcher to hit, but it is what's been the biggest issue for Terwilliger is the walks, as that one is over, missing it high and inside. It is a walk with nobody out. As there is rain falling now here at Hyde Stadium, everybody's starting to make their way to underneath the into the grandstand behind home plate, underneath the awning. Take a little cover and might see a rain shower come over the next 10-15 minutes, and everything should be good over there. But it is Brendan Livermont, the third baseman, will come to the plate with runners at first and second and nobody out.
Yeah, and just to tie a bow on the point of the hit by pitch situation, you're right. We're not endorsing that. We're just trying to make a negative, put a positive spin on something that was negative there. But yeah, runners first and second. And I think you're right to the point that that's something that I think as Terwilliger gets older, that's something that he'll work on getting better at, is pounding the zone a little bit more as that misses upstairs for ball one to Livermont. But still a young kid, had some experience on the mound as a 8th grader going into his freshman year, and now as a freshman going into his sophomore year, as Livermont fouls that away to make it a 1-1 count here. He'll continue to grow, continue to develop, and I think really become an asset for the Eights over the next 2 years.
Counts 1-1 here to Livermont, who drew 3 walks in his 4 trips to the plate, one being a bases-loaded RBI walk. He went 0 for 1 in game number 1. He'll swing at that pitch and sky this out towards left field. Going back is Sun and Shine out to the wall. It is going to land in fair territory right at the base of the wall. 1 run will come in to score, but only the runner at first can move up to second. And it's an RBI single for Livermont, and it's a 1-0 lead for Aberdeen in the first hit of the game for the Smittys.
That's the longest single you're ever going to see if you're watching a baseball game, because that ball was hit
323.
Literally 323 feet right in front of the foul pole in left field. And because the runner was waiting to see if that ball was caught, as that's a foul ball on the bunt attempt there by number 13 in Ladner. But that's about the longest single you're going to see. Typically, you see that only on the slow pitch softball fields. I played for a team a couple of years ago, actually when I was in college, called Team Long Single, and that was the epitome of the long single there.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Curveball that stays upstairs, and the count's now 1-1. Yeah, he hits that 2 more feet. It's a 3-run home run.
Yeah.
Instead, he hits it 2 less feet, and it's a RBI single.
I did that last week in softball, actually. Hit one off the wall and thought it was a homer and was walking back to the dugout. And then it hit the wall, and I only ended up on first base.
The count's 1-2 here to Jackson Ladner, at least this time. And for Livermont, he's got a reason why he's at first base and not thinking that he could just walk. Granted, you got to run around the bases in baseball.
That's true.
Softball, you just go back to the dugout. This will be popped foul again, and the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I wasn't running that out.
You didn't want to try to get inside the park home run?
No. I am not built to run that far that quickly and turn left multiple times anymore.
Runner takes off for third. The throw to third. The tag applied, and he's safe at third. So they are able to steal third on Terwilliger, who stepped off and threw it just a tad too late. And both runners will move up to second and third here with nobody out in the top of the second inning. And here for Jackson Ladner, a chance to drive in now 2 runs. 1-2 pitch to him. Curveball that misses inside. The count's 2-2.
That's a good read there by Zenz. Maybe was reading Terwilliger and saw that, after a certain number of times he wasn't going to look back. He took off for third. Terwilliger didn't balk. He did step off. But you're right, just a little bit late on the throw, as that actually ends up hitting Ladner, so that loads the bases now for the batter in
Donnie Soderlund.
Soderlund here.
Help you out with my bad
I was going to say
handwriting.
the handwriting hasn't gotten any better.
You're going to wait a long time for that handwriting to get better.
You're right. I should have just looked at the roster.
But the bases are loaded, and there's a swing and a miss by Soderlund with nobody out here in the top of the second. Aberdeen's got a 1-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebind scoreboard. And Soderlund's getting his first plate appearance of the doubleheader. The 0-1 pitch will miss low and away, and the count's now 1-1. Soderlund is coming in, hitting .333. Let me find it, .367 with a double and 8 runs driven in. 11 hits with 10 singles, but does have 8 RBIs on the season. The 1-1, that one will miss low, and the count's now 2-1. And where Terwilliger has struggled here is that he's hit 2 guys with a walk and only 1 base hit. He has put the danger on himself. There's a line shot, and that's through the hole on the right side for a base hit. 1 run will come in to score. A second run is going to be coming to the plate, cut off by Buckles to throw the play to the tag, not applied in time. And it's a 2 RBI single for Soderlund, and it's a 3-0 lead here in the top of the second.
Yeah, just a nice hit there through the right side of the infield, and that plate's 2. Thought the relay was going to get a chance, or going to have a chance to get the runner, but just a little bit late on the relay, and the throw took Peterson up the line. So 2 RBI single for Soderlund, making it a 3-0 lead for the Smittys, and that brings Dutenhofer to the plate.
First pitch, ground ball up the middle. Getz will step in the bag at second. His throw to first. That's a 6-3 double play. And it's only the second out. Buckles dropped the ball thinking that was the third out. But there's a runner on now at third here with 2 away in the top of the second. That's a big double play to help try and get through this inning. And it brings up the top of the order in Drew Southfrank.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where corners are maybe playing at normal depth and the middle was back in double play depth, and Dutenhofer hit right into the double play depth with Getz playing right near the bag at short.
First pitch swinging for Southfrank, out towards right center field. Long run for Stal. He's not going to get there. It's a base hit that drives in another run. He overran the ball, so to second will easily go Southfrank. He's got an RBI double, and now it's a 4-0 lead here for Aberdeen in the top of the second.
These Aberdeen hitters are doing a good job of going the other way. Southfrank did it there. Soderlund did it a couple at bats prior. You know, they do a good job of lining the ball to right field and right center. They're going with the pitch. They're not trying to roll over. Their approach has been really good, and it seems to be carry over from game to game as that pitch is fouled off there by the number 1 in Welke. But it seems like their approach game to game has been pretty consistent, because that just goes to show why their record is 19-5 thus far.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Welke after he struck out swinging his first at bat. That one's outside, the count's now 1-1. So a 4-run inning. Second time that Aberdeen has scored 4 runs in an inning. They scored 3 in the 5th and 4 in the 7th in the 8-0 win in game 1. Now a 4-run inning here in the second. Here in game number 2, as that one will miss low and away. The count's now 2-1. On Friday, we will be on the air around 2:15 for first pitch at 2:30 for game 1 of the Minot tournament. This is out towards right center field again, but sliding forward to Simpson out in right field to make the catch and retire the side here in the top of the second. 4-run score, though, in the inning on just 3 base hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the second. 4-0 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
People helping people. Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Wahi Federal Credit Union member? At a Wahi Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Wahi Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Wahi Federal Credit Union.
Bottom of the second, 4-0 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre. Post State, as it'll be 4-5 and make that 5, 6, and 7. J.J. Buckles will lead things off, followed by Grayson Hunsley, Charlie Simpson. He might reach his base. George Staley get a chance to hit. So 2:30 is first pitch, scheduled first pitch on Friday up in Minot. We'll have coverage starting at 2:15, and then we'll jump into the next game. Post State will play Mandan in game number 1, and then we'll end up playing South Central, the South Central Cubs in game number 2. And the fun fact of the South Central Cubs, as the first pitch will miss low for ball 1, is that they are from Canada. They're from Manitoba, Canada, but they're from Winkler, Manitoba.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so the 1-0 pitch here to Buckles. That'll miss, and it's now 2-0.
So you're saying there may be a conflict of interest as far as who you're going to root for?
Well, the good news is that either because they win, it's because they're from Winkler, and if they lose, it's because they're the Cubs.
Oh.
2-0 pitch is inside the count, now 3-0. So either way,
it works out.
It works out for me.
Works out.
Because you either say, well, the rain is really coming down here, and well, not really coming down, but coming down much harder here at Hyde Stadium as the 3-0 pitch is over for a strike, and the count goes now 3-1. Here to J.J. Buckles. Rain kind of trying to fight its way into the press box. 3-1 pitch is fouled, and the count's now 3-2. But they'll play South Central, Winkler, Manitoba team, and then on Saturday they'll open up the day against Minot, and then end up playing Glendive, Montana to wrap up the tournament. That one will be a walk issued from Vining, as the leadoff man is on base for the first time today for Post State. And it brings up Grayson Hunsley, the DH.
Yeah, good at-bat there from Buckles, realizing that the rain's probably going to make it a little bit harder for Vining to find good grip, and he does his job, does foul off a pitch, but walks on 5 pitches to put the leadoff runner on base for the Eights for the first time tonight. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Rain is coming down good, but not quite to the point of where you're going to have to try and wait for it to pass. You're in an okay spot to just continue playing unless there would be any kind of lightning in the area. But right.
Looking more just to be a small little soaking for the time being. The 1-0 pitch is upstairs, and the count's now 2-0 here to Grayson Hunsley. And it really is, a gentle rain. It's really not, coming down too hard. There's not a whole lot of wind. And like you said, really haven't seen any lightning in the area either, as that pitch is over on the outer half of the plate for strike 1 to make it a 2-1 count here to Hunsley. Let's say the rain should end here shortly, but we still might end up having a little bit more rain before the end of the night potentially come through here. 2-1 pitch. That's outside. The count's now 3-1. We just need the wind to start blowing out towards left field, so then we don't have to worry about any of the rain coming into the
here.
press box.
Yep.
The hot spot's starting to get a little bit wet. 3-1 pitch. That one's over for a strike. The count's now 3-2, and our crowd mic, I think, is having raindrops kind of fall on top of it. That's why we're hearing the little thud. You can hear the thud. Oh, yeah,
you can every once in a while, yeah.
So the count's 3-2. Here to Grayson Hunsley. 3-2 pitch. That's a ground ball. Back to Vining. He'll think about throwing to second. The throw to first almost took that runner off the bag, or took the fielder off the bag in Ladner, but he was able to dive to make the catch, stay on the bag, and retire Hunsley. And there's one down here in the bottom of the second, and it will bring up now Charlie Simpson.
And it looks like the umpires are going to get together here and maybe think about, sitting everybody down. Although the rain does look. They were just discussing the out call at first base. That was what they were doing. Yeah, if he had stayed on the bag, or if maybe that the home plate umpire had seen it a little bit different, that he had not stayed on the bag. The rain is starting to lighten up here at Hyde Stadium.
But Charlie Simpson now will come to the plate with a runner on second. Post 8 down 4-0 here in the bottom of the second. First pitch to him is high and inside for ball 1.
Yeah, an opportunity here for the Eights to put a run across here for the first time tonight, as they've got a runner on second in scoring position in Buckles with 1 out.
1-0 pitch is over for a strike. The count now goes to 1-1 here to Charlie Simpson. Simpson in game number 1 went 0 for 3. One of the 6 guys make that 5 guys that came to the plate 3 times in that 8-0 loss. That one will hit him, and it's now multiple base runners on for the first time in the ball game, for first time to date for Post 8. Runners at first and second here with 1 away, and it's George Staley a chance to try and drive in Post 8's first run today.
Yeah, this is not going to be the game that was thrown by Grant Beyer, just because everybody that's going to be pitching on both sides is going to have to deal with the conditions being a little bit more slick on the baseball. You're not going to see a guy come out here and throw just under 8.5 pitches an inning anymore, because this is now wet and slick, and that's going to make the ball a lot more difficult to throw.
1-0 pitch. That will be outside to Stallion. The count's 2-0. In game 1, he went 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch. He was the only other base runner besides Nolan Peterson. So just 0 for 1 today so far, as he gets his first plate appearance here in game number 2. Swings and misses at the 2-0 pitch, and the count's now 2-1. Took a big violent hack on that one. The count's now 2-1 here to Stallion.
Stallion in the first game was one of the 2 guys for the Eights to reach base, as he got plunked in the head by a Beyer curveball.
2-1 pitch. That one will hit the umpire's mask, and it will get to the backstop. And the count's now 3-1, and both runners will move up 90 feet. That does not feel good to the home plate umpire. And they will make sure that he is okay. He said, yeah, hit my mask. And so it'll be second and third here with 1 out. Now Coach Zabel talking a little more with Brandon Sarda, the home plate umpire.
Yeah, Sarda did a good job of bouncing back and acting like that didn't hurt at all. What a champ back there.
So the count is 3-1 with runners at second and third now with 1 out. That usually does not feel too good. It's never feels good when a foul ball comes off you, but at least it hits something on its way to you. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 3-2. When a pitch just comes up and hits you square in the mask, or on the top of the mask without even touching the glove, touching the bat, whatever, doesn't feel as good.
No.
Never feels good. 3-2 pitch. There's a swing and a foul that was just off the catcher in Dutenhofer, and the count remains at 3-2, which then takes me back to the Lance Lynn. He got hit in the bill of the cap, and the reporter asked him after the game if he was okay, as that will come in and hit Stallion. He'll be okay, but the bases are now loaded. Second guy that's been hit by a pitch in back-to-back at-bats. The bases are loaded here for Nolan Peterson. But he had said that he goes, yeah, it hit the hat. It's fine. And he said, well, the hat's not protected. He goes, well, yeah, it is. That's why we wear them. No, that's helmets. Oh, well, I'm okay. It's definitely a Lance Lynn type of response.
Yes, it is.
Lance Lynn played for the Minnesota Twins
at one time we would like to forget.
Well, and he has played for the St. Louis Cardinals, but you understand where Lance Lynn is coming from, or that's how Lance Lynn is, because he is an interesting character.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to say, are you speaking to, is that how they bring ball players up in the St. Louis system, not knowing the difference between hats and helmets?
I mean, they are 2 games under 500 after being beaten a series by Miami, so maybe guys are feeling a little bit more like they don't know the difference between hat and helmets.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they're just tougher in the St. Louis system too. Who knows?
That could be. I wouldn't put money on it, but it could be. Here's Nolan Peterson with the bases loaded, 1 out. First pitch will miss low for ball one. The mound visit came out and trying to settle Casey Vining into this ball game with the tying run now on base here with one out in the bottom of the second. Peterson hit a double, the only hit for Post State in game number 1. 1-0 pitch is on the inside edge for a strike. That counts even at a ball and a strike to Peterson.
And speaking of the Cardinals, they you're right, they did lose
Yes.
today.
Yeah, they've lost back-to-back days against Miami in walk-off hits.
Oof.
1-1 pitch. That one will get to the backstop underneath the catcher's glove between his legs, and the run will come in to score to make it a 4-1 ball game. And those two runners are still in scoring position for Post States. Wild pitch gets the Yates on the board for the first time today. And Peterson still has 2 RBI opportunities with runners at second and third. Though the best thing was is that I didn't see the end of that game, as this is a ground ball. That is a diving stop by the first baseman and Ladner, who will step on the bag to retire Peterson. But the run will come in to score, and another fantastic play in this inning by the first baseman and Ladner. An RBI ground out for Peterson, and it's 4-2. And a runner on third for Carter Shufflebine, make that Cooper Twilger, who is coming in to hit in place of Shufflebine. So he will be now hitting the rest of the way, which then would also mean that the DH and Grayson Hunsley will come into the ball game, as the first pitch will miss for ball 1. So Twilliger will hit for himself, as that one's over for a strike. The count's now 1-1.
And maybe this is a game where Coach Iverson and Coach Zabel just decided to say, we're going to just try to piece something together, because, you know, as that ball gets slippery, it's easy for pitching staff to get frustrated, as we've kind of seen Vining do here. So maybe that's the approach, and maybe to save some arms going into the Minot tournament this weekend as well.
2-1 pitch is fouled out of play. The count's now 2-2. Shufflebine was dealing a little bit of a hamstring issue coming into today, and then when he grounded to first, or grounded out to the second baseman in the first inning, it seemed like he came up a little limping, but I don't know if that is it or not, as this will be skied out towards shallow center field. Coming in as a center fielder in South Frank, he'll make the catch and retire the side here in the bottom of the second. 2-run score in the inning on no hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the third. Aberdeen is leading Pierre 4-2 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Wahi Federal Credit Union member? At a Wahi Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at a Wahi Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place, because, well, they do.
Hawaii Federal Credit Union.
The lawyers at the May Adam Law Firm in Pierre know how important your families are to you. If you've been putting off getting your affairs in order, know that the May Adam Law Firm is available to counsel you through your questions and help you get the documents in place so that you've made your loved ones secure. Call them at 224-8803, and they can chat with you about how to document your concerns and care for your family. We're all in this together, and the May Adam Law Firm is ready and able to help.
Top of the third, it is a 4-2 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. Grayson Hunsley takes over at third base, as it is just a straight 9 now the rest of the way for Post State, as Hunsley enters the ball game after being the DH and played well in third base in game number 1. He'll continue to play third now here in game number 2, and it will be 3, 4, and 5. 8 men came to the plate in the top of the second with that 4-run inning for Aberdeen, and it will be 3, 4, and 5. Zane Backus, Casey Vining, and Philip Zenz. There is a little bit of some activity out in the left field bullpen right now for Aberdeen to try and maybe get that next guy loose, as it will be Ladner that is getting loose out in left field in the bullpen right now. Not so much working from the mound, but just throwing, as Backus will step to the plate to get us started here in the top of the third. Rain has stopped here at Hyatt Stadium, as the first pitch will miss low for ball 1. And Backus so far 0 for 1. Struck out looking to end that 1-2-3 first inning for Terwilliger. But unfortunately ended up being a 4-run second. This will bounce in. The count's now 2-0 here to Backus.
Yeah, so Terwilliger does stay in the game, to your point, and they're going straight 9 from here on out. I think they're going to try to do the same thing as Backus fouls that one off down the third base side and out of play for strike number 1. But you're right, to the point that this is going to be a 9 straight 9 all the way around for the rest of the ball game.
2-1 pitch. There's a line shot right to Buckles. He drops it, but he will still try and make the play. He'll toss it to first as Backus had, after that ball hit the glove of Buckles, he had stopped, did not really run to first, and then took off a little bit late and ended up being thrown out 3-1 on the putout, and the leadoff man retired as he'll bring up Casey Vining. That was a hard hit ball right to Buckles over at first.
Yes, it was.
And being able to get the glove on it, didn't have to make the catch clean, just get the glove on it. As the first pitch is off the handle, ground ball. Dawson gets will field at the bag at second. His throw to first is in time. 2 ground outs. Well, technical 1 ground out with a 3-1 put out on a line shot. That makes it 2 down here in the top of the third, and it brings up Philip Zenz.
Yeah, 2 quick outs here for Terwilliger in this top of the third, which, you know, if he can get this third one, that would really put the pressure on Aberdeen because, you know, Vining struggled quite a bit in that second, as that one's going to fall in front of Simpson in right field for a single to extend the inning. But Vining really struggled in that bottom of the second, as did Terwilliger in the top half of the second. So if you can put the pressure back on Aberdeen getting out of this inning quickly, that would be huge for, you know, the momentum to maybe start shifting back toward the 8s.
Here's Brandon Livermont with an RBI single back at the top of the second. First pitch to him with a runner on first with 2 outs. Is at the top of the zone for a strike. Jackson Ladner is now on deck, and he had to run in from the left field bullpen. He has to still grab his helmet and bat, get himself ready to go to hit potentially in this inning. 0-1 pitch. That one's over for a strike. The count's now 0-2. As Terwilliger's trying to still make this a quick inning here in the third. Here is the 0-2. Swing and a pop up right side. Backing up is Buckles. He'll give way to the second baseman Doyle, who will make the catch and retire the side here in the top of the third. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. It is 4-2 for Aberdeen at the end of 2.5 over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates. At your service, at your side. With offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
Ferding Electric has a long history of doing electrical work the right way. Economical service, professional work, and customer satisfaction is why they can say that. Ferding Electric can do residential, farm, and commercial projects. Doesn't matter if they are charged with new construction or a remodel project, they get it conducted. Contact the staff at Ferding Electric at 224-8684. They can light a spark into your next project. Ferding Electric, 224-8684. It is the bottom of the third and a new pitcher on the mound for Aberdeen, and it will be Jackson Ladner that will take over for Casey Vining, who went those 2 innings. As Vining will move to third, Livermont will go from third to first. So everybody stays put in the batting order. But we can give you totals here for Casey Vining here in just a moment. But it will be 2, 3, and 4. Sun and Shine, Miles Doyle, and Dawson Getz to lead things off. Earlier today, you heard Florida all over Kentucky in the first game of the day in the Women's College World Series, 15-4. They got the win. we had to cut off the Tennessee-Florida State game to get coverage. Tennessee ended up winning 7-2 as they are advancing to the championship series. Texas A&M right now holds a 2-0 lead over Florida. If that lead holds, we will not have any games for you on Thursday, and our next College World Series broadcast will be the championship series on Saturday night after we get done with. Actually, probably won't even will be done well in time for coverage of the College World Series on Saturday night. We'll have that Saturday, Sunday, and Monday if there is no Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. And you also have to get to Game 3 as well for the Men's College World Series. But Stanley Cup Final, I would have thought we'd be sitting here potentially still talking about the Cup Final still going on. And Sun and Shine will take strike one. But we'll have coverage Friday night after we get done with Pierre baseball. We might have to join the pregame show in progress, but we should be there by the time puck drop hits for Game 6. As Sun and Shine will launch that one out towards left field. That's over the head of the left fielder and down off the wall. Sun and Shine will round first on his way to second. He will pull in with a stand-up double. One hop the wall, and the Eights have their second double of the ball game. And leadoff man, as Sun and Shine is on, he's 2 for 2 here in the ball game.
Yeah, that's a good piece of hitting there by Sun and Shine, taking a ball on the inner half of the plate, ripping it down the left field line over the head of the left fielder, hops up against the wall. He's standing on second base with a double, leadoff double to start this bottom of the third, and continue to apply the pressure from the Eights on the Smittys here.
First pitch is over for strike one to Miles Doyle. So Jackson Ladner, who is on the mound right now, this will be his fourth relief appearance. He's thrown 9 innings in 3 appearances so far. He's got 2 wins, 6 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. As the 0-1 is up the middle, it's a line shot that is caught, and a dive back to second is not going to be in time for Sun and Shine. That one was a line shot that went right to the second baseman Backus. His momentum carried him right into the bag at second. And even Sun and Shine, who did freeze, still could not get back to the bag in time. And it's a double play, and there's 2 down here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, that's about as unlucky as you can get there. Miles Doyle just absolutely ripping a ball right at the second baseman, and Backus positioned perfectly. He's able to catch the ball, step on second to double off Sun and Shine, who did everything right, froze on the line drive. But he is then out to make it a quick 2 outs here in the bottom of the third, but extends the inning with a single up the middle.
And of course, if we get that base hit through for Miles Doyle, it's a 4-3 ball game, and instead it's just a 2-out single with nobody on for Dawson Getz. But it does extend the inning to J.J. Buckles, who drew a walk to lead off the second and came in to score on the wild pitch. That made it a 4-1 ball game at the time. To close the finish, the totals for Ladner, he's got 2 walks and 3 strikeouts coming in, 1.56 ERA and a whip at 0.89 as the first pitch will miss low for ball 1. And he has already given up 2 hits in this inning after having a whip in 9 innings of under 1, as the count is 1-0 here to Buckles. 1-0 pitch. That one is outside. The count's now 2-0 here to the Post-State first baseman, J.J. Buckles, who is available to throw in this ball game, and we'll see if the Eights will go to him at any point. 2-0. That is upstairs, and the count's now 3-0. If they don't, then you would think that he'll probably throw Friday to give him a chance to be resting Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, give him a chance for 3 days rest, so you can extend him a little bit on Friday. Then he would be available on Tuesday against Watertown. As the 3-0 is over for a strike, the count's now 3-1, as the Eights will have back-to-back South Dakota games Tuesday and Wednesday at Watertown, then home against Spearfish.
2 big opportunities for the Eights to pick up wins against South Dakota opponents as Getz steals second. The throw from Dutenhofer takes the shortstop away from the bag. And so Getz actually thought about maybe going to third on that, but he ends up just sliding in, stopping at second. So runner in scoring position for the Eights here with a full count and 2 outs.
Here is the 3-2 pitch. That is upstairs for ball 4. Another walk issued to Buckles. Second time that he has drawn a walk. Third base runner of the inning. And it's first and second now with 2 away, and it brings up Grayson Hunsley, who grounded back to the pitcher in his first trip to the plate, as he's got a chance to try and make this a one-run ball game here in the bottom of the third. First pitch from Ladner to Hunsley. That one's over for a strike. For Casey Vining, he went 2 innings, giving up a hit, 2 runs, both of them earned, with 1 walk and 1 strikeout through just 45 pitches. Maybe one to try and keep him available to throw this weekend again against Renner and Harrisburg Maroon. This will be flown out towards right center field. Running over into the gap is Southring to his left to make the catch. And that retires his side here in the third. No run score on 2 hits in the inning. There are no errors and 2 men left on base. Head of the fourth, 4-2 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Verting Electric has a long history of doing electrical work the right way. Economical service, professional work, and customer satisfaction is why they can say that. Verting Electric can do residential, farm, and commercial projects. Doesn't matter if they are charged with new construction or a remodel project, they get it conducted. Contact the staff at Verting Electric at 224-8684. They can light a spark into your next project. Verting Electric, 224-8684.
Hey, yo, Speedo's Lawn Care.
Hello. Say, my yard's in rough shape. It's got weeds, brown spots, and crabgrass.
Yeah, no problemo. What shade of green you need? We got 31 shades of green over here. Even the latest shade of septic tank grass green. That one just naturally gives off a glow.
Call the professionals at True Green. They know how to get your lawn healthy and keep it healthy. They guarantee it. All technicians are trained and certified.
Call True Green, 224-1916.
Top of the fourth, it is 4-2. Aberdeen leads Pierre on American Family Insurance. Brittany Schoffelbein scoreboard 7-8-9. Jackson Ladner, Donnie Soderlin, and Natalia Dudenhofer will be the first 3 hitters, with Drew Southfrank a chance to hit if any of the 3 reach base. It is, Blake, the College World Series that is going on right now, and we've had coverage on KCCR. We'll have coverage of the Championship Series, but the College World Series in Omaha, it's a bucket list item for me to attend.
Yeah, I haven't been able to go either. My Bradley, when he was in high school, my brother, he went down to like a team basketball camp down in Creighton during the College World Series. Is that first pitch from Terwilliger ends up hitting Ladner, and he will take first base, be the first base runner to reach here in the top of the fourth. But he was actually able to go to a team basketball camp down at Creighton during the College World Series, so he was able to go to that. Remember, he picked up a Arkansas Razorbacks hat, which was pretty cool. But there's 2 teams playing for the right to get to the semifinal, or to get to the finals, like you were talking about earlier, that being Texas A&M and Florida, to face the Tennessee Volunteers, #1 team in the country, and the school that a Sioux Falls Roosevelt alum in Marcus Phillips plays for. He's a 2-way player for them, sophomore outfielder and pitcher.
And had 2 South Dakota guys with Will Simmons on North Carolina's
That's
team
right.
as well.
Yep.
Yes, and so South Dakota represented the College World Series this year, and by the looks of teams, as long as they don't transfer out, I would say that they got a good shot at being there a couple more times before they're done. This will be flown out towards right field. Charlie Simpson, that was right to him. And there's 1 down now here in the top of the fourth as Soderlin flies out, and Dudenhofer now will come to the plate. He is 0 for 0 with a ground into a double play in the top of the second inning. There's 1 on and 1 out here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, a lot of good baseball players come out of the Metro recently. You talk about Simmons from Harrisburg, Phillips from Roosevelt, another Roosevelt alum, and Jack Riley playing for Notre Dame as well. Just a lot of good talent coming out of the Sioux Falls area on the baseball side here over the last probably 5 years or so.
Counts 0-1 here to Dudenhofer. The 0-1 pitch. That one is just outside. The count is now even at a ball and a strike. And again, if Texas A&M or Florida comes back and beats Texas A&M, they'll play again tomorrow, and we'll have coverage of that game. And they don't have a time set for it, but we'll have it regardless of what time it is. 1-1 pitch is over for a strike. The count's now 1-2. Then on Friday, we've got a triple header because we'll have the 2 games for post-8 playing in the middle of the afternoon at 2:30 and 4:45, and then we'll have coverage of the Stanley Cup Game 6. That'll come up on Friday night with puck drop just after 7 o'clock. So we'll have a triple header of that for you, and then a triple header of baseball on Saturday with 2 more games for post-8, and then that first game of the championship series as well. 2-2 pitch. Curveball that comes in almost hits Dudenhofer. The count's now full at 3-2.
And if you've hung with us for previous broadcasts, we were making predictions on the Cup final, and I think we were both kind of on the Panthers in 6 train, as that is a single to right field from Dudenhofer, as that will move the runner from first to third. So now we have runners on the corners for the Smittys and 1 out. Good job of going with the pitch there from Dudenhofer down the right field line. But like I was saying earlier, if we are correct, Panthers win this game, we'll
look pretty good.
We'll definitely go back and clip that little sound bite and make sure we play that over and over.
And truthfully too, we had even said that the Panthers were playing so good that you felt like it could be a sweep, but you don't want to give them a sweep just because it's hard to pick somebody in 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then we end up saying, well, we'll give 6 or 7, and here we are now, Game 6 after Florida almost swept them, and now Edmonton's trying to get to a Game 7. First pitch to the top of the order, and South Frank is popped up. The second baseman, Doyle, will make the catch, and there's now 2 down. The infield fly rule was not in effect with it being first and third. So there's now 2 down here in the top of the 4th, and it brings up Jackson Welke, who is 0 for 2. And Twilliger trying to get through this 4th inning and keeping this a 4-2 ball game. Then we weren't correct on the Boston-Dallas series.
I was trying to remember that.
I know we gave 6 or 7, I think, but
sure.
And so either way, we were off on games. This will be popped up right side, then it's foul, and then we'll get out of play, and the count's 0-1.
Did we both pick Boston though?
I think we did. I know you did.
Okay.
Because you had mentioned Porzingis being healthy.
Sure.
And saying that was going to be the case. I don't remember. I might have picked Dallas. I might have been wrong. More likely a chance that I was wrong. 0-1 pitch. It's low and outside, and the count's now 1-1.
I heard about a recent bet that was placed where the loser of the person that picked the loser of the NBA Finals had to get the winner an ice cream sundae from Zesto. So if we're going to do that thing too, I wouldn't be opposed.
Oh, okay. I don't think we never shook on that.
Well.
One.
We can go back and
check
the tapes and see.
I'll buy you some ice cream sometime. Counts 1-2 here to Jackson Welke. 1-2 pitch. It will be a curveball that stays upstairs, and the count's now 2-2.
Maybe so. Me picking the Panthers in 6 if they win, and knowing 0 about
that is deserving of ice cream
of hockey. Probably would be, as that strike 3 is. Number 1 in Welke takes strike 3 on the outer half. Good pitch there by Terwilliger to end the inning. We'll continue this discussion in the bottom half of the frame.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th. 4-2 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Beck Motor Company, your local Chevrolet dealer in Pierre, would like to thank all our customers for their business. This year, we are celebrating an amazing 55 years in business. We appreciate each and every one of you. Our family-owned and operated Chevrolet dealership is dedicated to providing our customers with top-notch service in every department. We offer a vast inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Chevrolet and Cadillac vehicles. Our staff is committed to helping you find the perfect vehicle that you will love for years to come. Check out our inventory at www.beck-motors.com. Beck Motor Company, Pierre.
Are you or a family member receiving Medicare calls asking if you've received your new Medicare card? This should be a red flag, as Medicare is not sending out new cards, and Medicare will not contact you to ask you about your card. If you have, or someone you know has received this type of call and they gave out their Medicare number, please contact the South Dakota Attorney General's Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986.
It is the bottom of the fourth, and it is a 4-2 lead for Aberdeen over Post 8 on the American Family Insurance Smittys Shufflebine scoreboard. It is going to be 7, 8, 9 here for the A's. Charlie Simpson, George Staley, and Nolan Peterson. Levi reaches base. Back to the top of the order for Cooper Terwilliger, who hit in the top of the second after Carter Shufflebine went through the first inning. And it will be Ladner, who is trying to keep this a 4-2 ball game. I think it's starting to rain again a little bit here at Hyde Stadium. It is. There is 0 people that are sitting in the seats. It is all in the concrete grandstand area between behind home plate. Everybody has got shelter, and they are enjoying staying dry underneath the awning behind home plate, as the rain is falling again, but it's a little less than what it was when we first had rain come through. And again, as long as we don't see any kind of lightning in the area, I think we'll be okay. Looking like on the radar that we're going to be okay to just get another rain shower to come through, as it will be Charlie Simpson to lead things off. First pitch will hit him, and the Eights will get their tying run to the plates in just one pitch, as George Staley will come to the plate. He was also hit by a pitch, and Simpson is 0 for 0, being hit by a pitch twice now in his 2 plate appearances. And here is now George Staley. Nolan Peterson will follow, and then Cooper Terwilliger.
Yeah, good start here for the Eights here in the bottom of the fourth. Leadoff guy gets on base, and a couple of veterans in the Post 8 organization coming to the plate in the next 2 batters in Staley and Peterson.
You kind of almost feel like this is like leadoff guys coming up with Staley and Peterson, who both have spent times on the leadoff spot. And then you get Terwilliger, who is probably not a guy that you're going to put in a leadoff spot very often in the order, but just circumstances put him in that leadoff spot, but he can still do some damage if the 3 guys get on base. This will be upstairs, and the count's now 2-1. Here to George Staley, who has been on base twice so far. He is 0 for 1 in total today. He's been hit by a pitch twice, once in each game, as he'll swing and fly that one out towards right center field. Going back on the center fielder, still going back and making the catch shy of the warning track out in right center field is Sal Frank. That was shy of the 379 mark out in right center field. And there's a long out number 1 here in the bottom of the fourth, as retreating back to first base is Simpson. That brings up Nolan Peterson, the catcher.
Yeah, that was hit about as well as you can hit a ball to that power alley in right center by George Staley. Just hung up a little bit too much, and center fielder is able to run underneath it and make a catch for the first out at the bottom of the fourth.
Here's the first pitch. Runner takes off. Taken for a strike. The throw to second will skip in as it gets out towards center field, but no chance for Simpson to take off for a third. A stolen base for Simpson. So strike 1 to Nolan Peterson, and he'll have a chance to try and drive in the third run of the ball game for Post 8. Try and get them within 1 here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
A big spot here for the senior. See if he can deliver.
0-1 pitch. Almost comes in and hits him. He'll back away from it. The count's now 1-1. And Terwilliger is on deck, followed by a Sutton Sun and Shine, who is 2 for 2 with a single and a double. 1-1 pitch. That is at the letters for a strike. The count's now 1-2 here to Nolan Peterson, number 9 man in the batting order. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Aberdeen. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Post 8. Here's the 1-2. Long check at second, and then they will throw to second, and diving back in is Simpson safely. Trying to make this a 1-run ball game. The only RBI is from Peterson, who had an RBI ground down and a diving stop by the first baseman, Ladner, who is now on the mound. As that one will be taken for strike 3, and Peterson will go down on strikes. There's 2 down, first strikeout for Ladner, and there's 2 away. Now for Cooper Terwilliger to try and make this a 1-run ball game.
Yeah, just a tough strikeout there for the second out of the inning, and that will bring up the unconventional leadoff hitter in Cooper Terwilliger to possibly make this a one-run ball game.
First pitch swinging. Twilliger will fly it out towards left field. Didn't get all of it. It will hang up there. An easy play made by the left fielder, Welke. To retire the side here in the bottom of the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. Halfway home here in game number 2. Post State is down 4-2 to Aberdeen. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
AGE Corporation's Contractors and Crane Service is a proud supporter of Pierre Governor Athletics. For almost 60 years, AGE has been building South Dakota. For all your site work construction and crane work needs this season, AGE is here to help. Give them a call. AGE Corporation and Crane Service, 223-2732. That's 223-2732. AGE, proud supporters of local sports.
It is the top of the 5th, and in a 4-2 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre, the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffle by a scoreboard. And for Aberdeen in the 5th inning, 3, 4, and 5. Zane Backus, Casey Vining, and Philip Zenz. By reaching base, it'll be Brendan Livermont that will step to the plate. Emma Thielen is back at the station. John Wickler alongside Blake Dean here on this Wednesday night. As the Eights are trying to get their second win of the season. Trying to get to 2-12 on the year, and would be 2-7 in South Dakota games if they can come back and win this one against Aberdeen. Their next South Dakota games will be Tuesday and Wednesday, a doubleheader up in Watertown, before then coming home for a doubleheader against Spearfish. After we get through the Minot tournament, there is just one doubleheader the rest of the way that is not South Dakota games. It's a Thursday scheduled to travel to Bismarck, as that one's over for strike one to kick off the top of the 5th inning. Now, that is, they think the last time that Pierre will not play a South Dakota opponent, or the only other time after this weekend that Pierre will not play a South Dakota game. This will be ripped down the first base line, down the right field line, and it'll get all the way out to the wall as it 2 hops off the wall. The throw coming in from Simpson. It's going to be a stand-up leadoff double to kick off the top of the 5th for Zane Backus. He is now 1 for 3 in this ball game. An early business here for Aberdeen at the top of the 5th.
And Backus has been doing it all year from the left side of the plate, and you saw why right there. 2 hops the wall, gets past the right fielder in Simpson, and that starts a big inning potentially here for the Smittys with Vining now at the plate.
Here's the first pitch from Terwilliger. Vining wanted to offer at it, did not, and is called strike, and the count's 0-1. Vining is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the second and also ground out to the shortstop in the third. The 0-1 pitch, curveball that Vining stays back on, but he fouls it back to the netting, and the count's 0-2.
Vining's got a little bit of Ichiro Suzuki to his approach in the box. He kind of holds the bat out there like he's gonna, at least on the last one, like he was waiting for Terwilliger to come set.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. That was at the knees. Good fastball, trying to get him to chase and maybe just trying to blow one by him, and he just misses low for a ball, and the count's now 1-2.
Of course, I say that, and then he didn't do it the next 2 times that he stepped in the box. So maybe it was just a one-time thing.
1-2 pitch. This will be popped foul on the right side and get out of play. And the count remains at a ball and 2 strikes here. Philip Zenz, Brendan Livermont, the next 2 hitters for Aberdeen. Here is the 1-2 again. That one's on the outside corner for a strike, and Vining will go down looking. And that is a strikeout to number 4 for Terwilliger. And it brings up Philip Zenz. That's the third one looking for Terwilliger. Philip Zenz is 1 for 1 as he comes to the plate, walked in the second, and got a single in the third. First pitch, ground ball to the right side. Miles Doyle will wait on it. He'll be able to make that stab. The throw to first is low and unable to be picked out by Buckles. And a run will come in to score. The other run will go to second. It'll be an air charge to Doyle and a 5-2 lead now for Aberdeen here in the top of the fifth.
Yeah, just a ground ball that unfortunately kind of ate up Miles Doyle there. Instead of charging it, he was kind of backpedaling on it, waited for to get the short hop, which he did, but because he backpedaled, the throw to first was a little bit low. Buckles unable to scoop it out, and that plates a run for the Smittys.
Here's the first pitch to Livermont. That'll miss low and away for ball one. That was pitch number 74 for Terwilliger, so he's got 31 pitches left to go here in the ball game before he would have to be removed. Here's the 1-0. That's upstairs, and the count's now 2-0. He is 1 for 2 as Livermont. RBI single back in the second. Or that 4-run inning. He got the first RBI before a 2 RBI single from Soderlin and an RBI double from Southfrank. 2-0 pitch. That'll miss low, and the count's now 3-0. Runner takes off. The throw to third. They've gotten him now in a pickle. Now they'll chase him back to second, make the one throw, and they'll tag him out. So there's now 2 outs here in the inning. I don't know if that the runner in a sense that thought maybe the ball had gotten past Peterson, but he was thrown out at third by a mile and then tried to backtrack his way to second. And very good play from Grayson Hunsley. Chased him back to the bag, made one throw, didn't make multiple throws, made one throw back to second, and the tag applied by Doyle.
Yeah, and watching Zenz come off the field, I think you're right in the fact that he thought that ball got past him because he was upset with himself. That he decided to go on that. But you're right. Great play by Hunsley. After he realized that he was going to slap the tag down because he thought Zenz was going to slide, but Zenz put the brakes on and started to backtrack. And as that ball is fouled back to the screen to continue this count at 3-2 with 2 outs. But Hunsley did the right thing after realizing that Zenz wasn't going to slide, ran him back to second base, and then Doyle did a good job of not letting him get all the way back to the bag, catching the ball in front of the bag and tagging out Zenz for out number 2.
3-2 pitch upstairs for ball 4, so the inning will continue. And there's a runner on at first for Jackson Ladner, the pitcher. And it'll be a runner on at first with 2 away. He has been hit by a pitch twice as Ladner. Both times he's come to the plate. He, along with Charlie Simpson, have picked up a couple bruises in their 2 plate appearances. First pitch to him. It'll be upstairs for ball 1. And it's such a simple thing what Hunsley and Doyle did.
Yeah.
But it can be very hard to execute at times and easy to just get into a quick toss here, a quick toss there, and just keep throwing the ball back and forth until somebody makes a mistake. To run him back to the bag and make that one throw, how you're taught to do it is get him back to the bag he was coming from, and most of the time that's going to result in an out, and that's exactly what they were able to do. And could save at least, does save a run coming home in the inning right now, as it counts 3-0 here to Ladner. Now, obviously, we'll still want to try and get through this inning, but it does alleviate some of that pressure on a potential another run scoring. 3-0 pitch from Terwilliger. That's going to be upstairs for a ball 4, and it's a 4-pitch walk. And so Ladner has been on base all 3 times. And it's now Donnie Soderlin, who is 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI single in the second. And fly out to the right fielder Simpson in the 4th.
So both of his hits have been to right field. So if you're Coach Iverson, maybe thinking that, he can't get around on the heat from Terwilliger, and maybe you position everybody toward the right side of the diamond if you're the 8s.
And that's where Dawson Getz is going now, playing to try and hold the runner on at second instead of Doyle. As the 0-1 pitch is over for a strike, the count's now 0-2. Usually you see with a right-handed hitter, you'll have the second baseman go over, left-handed hitter, the shortstop will go over. But they're going to play for him to go the other way and have Getz hold him on at second. Counts 0-2 here to Soderlin. The 0-2 pitch. That one's fouled back. And the count remains at 0-2.
But going back to when they got the guy between third and second for that second out, the thing that to just tie a bow on that, Doyle did a good job too of playing in front of the bag rather than right on the bag, as that's strike number 3. As the inning is over in the top half of the 5th here for the Smittys, and only 1 run scorers, make it a 5-2 ball game heading to the bottom of the 5th.
We will step aside for a minute. 5-2 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre. You're listening to Post-State Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
AGE Corporation's Contractors and Crane Service is a proud supporter of Pierre Governor Athletics. For almost 60 years, AGE has been building South Dakota. For all your site work construction and crane work needs this season, AGE is here to help. Give them a call. AGE Corporation and Crane Service, 223-2732. That's 223-2732. AGE, proud supporters of local sports.
At AgTegra, we're leveraging the power of the cooperative to benefit our farmers and ranchers, their families, and local communities. We're creating jobs for your neighbors and putting money back into our communities. We're lending a hand in our rural fire departments, food banks, and 4-H and FFA programs. That's what local is all about. When you do business at AgTegra, you help us make a difference in your community. AgTegra, strong, stable, dependable, and local.
It is the bottom of the 5th and a 5-2 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. And it is going to be 2, 3, and 4 here for Post State. Sun and Shine, Miles Doyle, Dawson Getz against Jackson Ladner, who has come in relief after Casey Bunting went those 2 innings. He's got 2 innings of relief and pitching here into the 3rd inning of relief as well for the Aberdeen Smitties, who are trying to get to 22-5 on the season and 10-3 in South Dakota games. They're 21-5, 9-3 right now in South Dakota games, and holding on to a 5-2 lead over Post State here with the bottom of the 5th. Final 9 outs here for Post State to try and come back from a 3-run deficit. They were down 4-0 at the end of the top of the 2nd, scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 2nd. But a run just scoring on a hit and an error and 2 men left on base in the 5th. Made this a 3-run lead once again here for the Aberdeen Smitties. Again, coming up on Friday, Post State takes to the Minot tournament, playing Mandan in their first game, and then South Central Cubs in game number 2. As the first pitch of Sun and Shine's over for strike 1. Coverage will start at 2:15, right around 2:15, with first pitch at 2:30, and the second game will follow. And then we'll start coverage at the first game of the day on Saturday at 10 a.m. with coverage at 9:45. And then we'll finish out with a split doubleheader. We'll have a game off and then play at 2:30 again to wrap up the pool play. And if Post State is one of those top 2 teams, as this one will be shot out to left field, backing up as a left fielder in front of the warning track to camp underneath it as Welke, and the leadoff man retired here in the bottom of the 5th. And it will bring up Miles Doyle, who is 0 for 2. But if Post State becomes one of the top 2 teams of the 5-team tournament in the round robin, they will play then on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. in the championship game. Otherwise, if they are 3, 4, or 5, their tournament will end on Saturday. You're only guaranteed those 4 games, with the 5th game just 1 game on Sunday. 0-1 pitch to Doyle, swing and a miss, and the count's now 0-2. Dawson Getz is waiting on deck for the 8s. 0-2 pitch here from Ladner to Doyle. That one will bounce in and get to the backstop. The count goes to now 1-2. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Aberdeen. 2 runs, 3 hits, and an error for Post State. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. 1-2 pitch. That will be low and away, and the count's 2-2 now to Doyle.
Good hold there from Doyle. He wanted to maybe bite on the curveball, but just held up, which was the right decision on that one. Is kind of the same thing. Fastball down in the dirt there. Wanted to pull the trigger, but held up, and now we've got a full count with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th.
So 0-2 count now to 3-2, and Doyle trying to be a base runner here in the 5th inning for Post 8. 3-2. There's a ground ball, slow roller, fielded by the shortstop, bobbled. The throw to first is not going to be in time. That'll be an infield single for Miles Doyle. A little bit of a bobble from Zenz, but still will give Doyle the infield single to give the Eights their 4th hit of the ball game and bring up Dawson Getz, who is 1 for 2 with a base hit back in the 3rd.
And that one might have been just off the end of the bat there from Doyle because, good swing on it, but was not hit very hard. And Zenz, as good a player as he is, did bobble it. Maybe the rain played a little bit of a factor as that's strike 1 to Getz, but did bobble it a little bit, did make the throw over to first, but Doyle beat it by about a half step. And the Eights have their first base runner at the bottom of the 5th.
0-1 pitch here to Getz. This will be a fly ball that is fouled on the right field side. The count's now 0-2. Rain again falling here at Heights Stadium. We'll take the rain that is falling right now. It's nothing that is of too concern yet. It's just a nice soaking for the field, and dirt can take the water as well around the infield. 0-2 pitch is a curveball that comes inside. The count's now 1-2. And as long as the extracurriculars of a shower stay away and it doesn't turn into a thunderstorm, we're good with the rain falling right now. Obviously, it's not it's a little bit of a hindrance on pitchers, and that one will be fouled out of play. The runner took off, and Doyle, he'll jog back to first. The 1-2 count here and 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. But the fans decided we don't really need to sit in the seats. We'll sit in the concrete seats behind home plate to stay dry during this second game of our doubleheader. 1-2 pitch. It'll be flown out towards right field. Gets stayed back on it, and then the catch though made by the right fielder in Soderlin. And there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, I thought that was going to fall there, but Getz must have got enough of the meat of the bat on it for it to carry to the right fielder for out number 2, but I thought he maybe got jammed a little bit and that was going to fall, but ends up being the second out of the inning here for the Eights, and that was a first pitch ball to J.J. Buckles here.
Well, now the rain's starting to come down a little bit harder here at Heights Stadium. Here's the 1-0. There's a ground ball on the left side. That's going to get through the hole on the left side for a base hit. And it's first and second. 2 hits in the inning for Post 8. And it will bring up now Grayson Hunsley.
Good job of covering there by Ladner. Third base, because his third baseman was going to his left and away from the bag. So Ladner then, because he realizes that there's nobody covering, he sprints off the mound and goes to cover third base.
So now it's Grayson Hunsley with the runners at first and second and 2 away. Base hit could make this a 2-run ball game. Here's the first pitch. That'll be above his head and inside. The count's now 1-0. And as quick as Ladner got a new baseball, he'll want another new baseball. Get the rain to slow down a little bit.
I'm going to say it seems like it's starting to let up maybe a little bit.
And hear that rain falling on the water dropping on top of the mic. And that one will be flown out towards right field. Backing up is the right fielder. And Soderlin will make the catch to retire the side here in the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the top of the 6th. A 5-2 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Stolken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our #1 priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. That's Stolken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre. Brought to you by Limebach Construction Incorporated, who can build your recreational home or building along the beautiful lower Lake Oahe area. Whether if your hobby is hunting, fishing, travel, or water sports, we can come up with a building design that will fit your interests and expectations. We pride ourselves on using quality products, customer service, and open communication. Limebach Construction is locally owned and operated, serving the Missouri River community since 1994. For area of service and more information, contact Bill Limebach at 605-223-2738. That's 605-223-2738. Top of the 6th inning. It is a 5-2 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre, and it will be 9-1-2. Talon Dutenhofer, Drew Southfrank, and Jackson Welke. He might reach his base. Zane Backus will come to the plate. As we are here in the 6th in a rainy, somewhat rainy evening. It's not been a horrible time of playing baseball in some rain, but looking like the rest of the night will, baseball-wise, we'll be seeing a little bit of rain according to the radar. That maybe there's some around the Wentz area that potentially could be maybe bringing some lightning. And I don't mean that as in there's definitely a storm coming, but by radar looks of a little bit of orange on the radar, maybe there's some that potential of maybe a lightning around the area. But hopefully that's not the case. We can get this game in without any delays, or especially now at 8:34 in the evening. You get to the point where any delay you might end up saying we're just going to call the rest of the game because Aberdeen's got a 2.5-hour drive back northeast, and you don't want to keep them here till potentially 11 o'clock at night. First pitch is missing for ball 1 to Talon Dutenhofer. The 1-0 pitch. This will be a line shot up the middle for a base hit, as that one almost skipped over the top of George Stalley, but a leadoff single for Dutenhofer. He's now 2 for 3 in the ball game, and there's a 1 on and nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Then it brings up Drew Southfrank, the top of the order for Aberdeen.
Yeah, just a solid piece of hitting there from Dutenhofer, right back up the middle, and the Smittys have their leadoff man on here in the top of the 6th.
So Southfrank, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI double back in the 2nd. Steps to the plate, showing bunt, misses the first pitch for strike 1. And it counts 0-1. You saw that Fort Calhoun, with the bases loaded in that first game of the Dakota Classic, tried a suicide squeeze, and the guy missed the bunt and ended up being tagged out. Peterson made the tag to get the out. Showing bunt again, pulling it back, and missing for ball 1. Fort Calhoun actually tried that again on Sunday, the game before Pierre, tried to do it another time and failed a second time of trying a suicide squeeze and got tagged out both times without putting a bunt down. 1-1 pitch, another bunt attempt. That one is missing again. That one was probably ball 2 for Southfrank, but it is now a 1-2 count here with nobody out, and most likely not bunting anymore as Southfrank.
Yeah, but going back to the Fort Calhoun thing, maybe that's the time to try it, is a tournament like that when there's very little at stake.
This will be popped up. Dawson gets at a shortstop position right at the edge of the infield dirt and grass. He'll make the catch, and there's one down here in the top of the 6th, and it'll bring up Jackson Welke. And you're right, that if there was a time to do it where you're not so worried about if wins or losses, you're right, that probably is trying to put that down against a South Dakota team is something that is the potential of seeing if your team can do it. If it comes down to the end of the season, you got to play some small ball to try and get a win. Here's the first pitch to Jackson Welke, missing for ball 1.
Yeah, do it in the low leverage situations, because then when you get a high leverage one later on, that you know the guys that have done it before or the people that have done it before can maybe do it again.
1-0 pitch is coming inside. The count's now 2-0 here to Welke. He's 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Sandwich between a fly out to the right fielder and Simpson. As he awaits the 2-0 pitch from Terwilliger. That one will be taken for a strike, and the count's now 2-1. I think we might have saw flash lightning.
I thought that as well.
With the thunder that comes through, that's exactly what it is. So we are going to be putting ourselves into a delay. So unfortunately, I thought maybe we can get away without having any type of delay at all, but we are going to be in a delay, a lightning delay of some kind. Now, it'll be interesting to see how long we wait for that to happen, because again, at 8:38 at night, how late do you keep Aberdeen here, or what do you do? So we will step aside for 3 minutes. We'll come back and we'll kind of recap the game and kind of maybe tell you if there's any information on what the delay might look like. We'll tell you about that. Back in 3 minutes here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Comtech, your local technology solutions provider, is now located on the truck bypass. With great brands like Bose, Sonos, LG, Samsung, Lenovo, and so much more. Stop in to see their new showroom for everything in stock for your personal or business needs. Comtech provides professional installation and service after the sale. Comtech is your local technology store, located now on the truck bypass, or visit us on the web at comtechplus.com.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Nystrom Electrical Contracting in Pierre has been providing professional sales, service, and installation since 1977. Whether you're starting from scratch, new construction, or you're upgrading your current system at your home, farm, or office, give the professionals at Nystrom Electrical Contracting a call. They've got a lot of bright ideas. Call Nystrom's today to schedule a free computer-generated estimate. Number is 224-8750, or visit their website at nystromelectric.com.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
So we do welcome you back here as we are in a rain delay between Pierre and Aberdeen. John Wickler alongside Blake Dean as the Eights are down 5-2 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebind scoreboard with a runner on at first with one out here in the sixth inning. Around 8:38 is when we think that delay really started, 8:37, 8:38. So if they do wait the half an hour, it would be around 9:08 when we get going. Now, I think the technical rule is seeing where the weather is at, and it's umpire's kind of discretion on how quickly they can get back out in the field. The other question now will be is, again, Aberdeen is 2.5 hour drive. If you flip shoes for a second and you're Pierre in Aberdeen, what do you try and get out of here, quickly? Do you say we'll stay here all night? How do you handle that? So that's where you're kind of, inside the code, you got to be generous of your opponent, because especially when it's Pierre and you're playing somebody, because regardless of you traveling or somebody else traveling, it's a long distance to travel back.
Yep.
With another lightning that just came over the sky. Where you want to draw the line of not continuing the game, or how late do you want to try and stay here?
Yeah, and that's one of those things that I think is up to the coaches, the umpires to decide what the outcome of that's going to be. I think probably you've got both coaches and the umpires looking at the radar right now and maybe going to make that determination. But we'll see what develops here over the course of the next half hour, and we'll try to entertain you, or we'll get to run through all the fantastic sponsors that bring you post-8 baseball every game.
Well, we can do that right now because we got. We want to say thanks to Comtech, Bank West, Nystrom Electric, Dakota Sprinkler Landscaping, American Family Insurance, the Brittany Shufflebine Agency, Lamb Motors, Taz Electric, Edward Jones, CHS River Plains, Wagner Auto, Yag Air, Faith Lutheran Church, Graham Tire, Avera, Capital City Ford Lincoln and Toyota, Shane's Pharmacy, Gales Gas, Oahe Federal Credit Union, May Adam, Fisher Rounds, Fertig Electric, True Green at Chem Lawn, Beck Motor Company, South Dakota Office of Highway Attorney General's Office. I think I messed that up, but
South Dakota Attorney General's Office.
There we go. Yep, thank you. Career Contract, that's why I have you all on board.
That's right.
AGE, Agtegra, Stolken Peterson LLP, and also Linebach Construction and First Dakota National Bank. I want to thank our sponsors for sponsoring Pierre. Started out as spring baseball and now post-8 baseball here in the spring and summer.
Yeah, this being able to bring you wonderful people listening on the airwaves, these broadcasts would not be possible without those sponsors. So we thank them for sponsoring the radio broadcasts that you listen to us here over the airwaves on KCCR 1240 and on YouTube at KCCR Sports as well. We really appreciate those sponsors, because without them, it wouldn't be possible for us to bring you post-8 baseball and Pierre Governor Legion baseball during the spring and summer seasons.
So just talk with River just a moment ago, Coach Iverson, that we're going to wait until 9 o'clock and see how things are and make the decision there, which then kind of gives us a couple minutes after 9 o'clock to get back going again, where that would be right around the time anyway. So we're looking at maybe 9 o'clock to getting going or making the decision on if we're going to play some baseball or not here still tonight. Radar-wise, rain-wise, the field is still in a good condition, but if you can't get the Lightning to stay away for an extended period of time, that's where we're going to look at the issue of this game potentially being shortened to only playing 5 full innings. And it is a full game right now, a 5-2 lead in the top of the 6th inning. You hate to end in an inning, during an inning, but you've got the 5 full in, so it technically would be a official game if the game is called here. And for Aberdeen, they're sitting and feeling doesn't matter to them right now.
No.
They have zero care on if it's going to continue or not. Pierre is wanting this game to continue, but as we mentioned too, with Aberdeen traveling 2.5 hours and South Dakota, it's a long drive back home, that you want to be courteous to your opponent because you want that courtesy back at some point if that is the case. So we're looking at 9 o'clock to maybe make a decision, and hopefully we can still play some baseball here tonight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right in the fact that you want that same courtesy extended to you. And I think, like we talked about, the coaches probably got together with the umpires and made that decision, all 4 of them. I can remember back when I was playing, that courtesy was not extended to us when we were playing out at Post 22 in Rapid City. I think we were 16 at the time, and we literally were waiting in the dugout during a rain delay, and they didn't end up calling the game until the drainage system actually backed up, and then the dugout started flooding. So they waited until that point to say, okay, yeah, we'll let you guys go home. And I think it was 11:30 Mountain at that point. So then all of a sudden we're making the drive back to Pierre. 12:30 Central. That was a rough night, and obviously a night that we remember not only because we had to wait around for so long during a rain delay, but the dugout flooding as well was a first for us too. So
back in the summer of 2020, the state tournament in the second, or I guess it was the second and final day, because we played Friday. Post State had lost the game on Friday. They beat Renner in the second game to get to be one of the top 3 teams remaining, and then the skies opened up, and they end up having about 4 or 5 hour rain delay. We played. That game started somewhere around 10 o'clock Mountain Time and didn't get over until about 12:30 Mountain Time.
Wow.
That was the summer of 2020, right at the end of August. That was a interesting finish to that season, because that was a COVID year, so you only had 4 teams in the state tournament at that point, and 22 was hosting on 320's field,
right? And
they were able to get the tarp on the field to at least be able to play. It was very humid at the end of that night. It was that was the one to remember for a long time.
Well, because then that was when 22 was going through their field reno, right?
Yeah, they played the Veterans Classic that 2 weeks before, and then demolished their field.
That's right.
And so they had, and there was nobody was hosting the state tournament until the top seed was established that made the state tournament, which was Post 22, and they were not going to give away the opportunity to host. They were able just to have 320 host those games, and I think they worked out a deal for 320 to get some money off of that. But because then it would have gone
to McKeague, probably, right?
Well, if they had not hosted it, I don't remember if Pierre was a 2 seed or the 3 seed. I think they were the 3 seed.
Okay.
So they would have then ended up still not hosting. I think Brandon Valley was a 2 seed at that time. But that was one that, again, we played until after midnight to try and finish out that game, and then Brandon Valley had to turn back around and end up playing on Sunday, and Post 22 ended up getting the state championship in 2020. But the chances then, we're in Minot, we had a game get canceled with rain. And then the last time, also 2020, last time we probably had a rain delay here was Gray Zabel hit a ball that kept it felt like it was still going up in the air when it got past the Boys and Girls Club, because he hit a ball, the hardest ball I've ever seen, the farthest ball I've ever seen hit at a Hyde Stadium. Ended up being a home run, and then the rains opened, the heavens opened up, and we got rained out the rest of the night.
I'm gonna say he hit it so hard that God was saying, "Why is there a baseball up here?"
Right.
And then just opened the heavens up for rain after that.
And that was the last Gray Zabel at bat of his high school baseball, or of his baseball career in general. That was his last at bat. Yeah, he walks away from baseball knowing that he hit a ball that he could not hit a ball farther than what he did that night. That was an impressive home run. That was the last time we had. I think we had a rain delay of any kind, and that was 4 years ago here at Hyde Stadium.
You mean here?
Yeah.
Sure.
Here at Hyde Stadium.
I got you. Yeah.
So. But it is a 5-2 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre right now with 1 out in the top of the 6th. There is a runner on first, so it would be a 2-1 count if we get to play some baseball. We're about 9 minutes away from trying to make a decision. Have not seen any lightning or heard any thunder over the last couple little bits, so maybe that's a good sign to maybe try and get this game in. We're going to take another break. We'll come back with more of our rain delay here at Hyde Stadium, Post State and Aberdeen. You're in a rain delay in the top of the 6th. Back in 3 minutes on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Tons Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Tons Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Tons Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Tons Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones financial advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and other benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Wagner Auto Company is your complete transportation headquarters. Now is the time to order your new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. Plus a good selection of quality pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles. They'll take care of you after the sale with a full-service parts and auto body shop with trained technicians, along with a friendly financing team that'll work with you to find the best deal and one that'll fit your budget. Wagner Auto is your local full-service family-owned dealership for over 115 years. WagnerAuto.com. That's WagnerAuto.com. Yag Air Incorporated is your locally owned ag, chemical, and seed retailer. Yag Air Incorporated offers reliable ground and aerial application. For the latest seed and chemical pricing, contact Kyle at 605-280-8710 or Tony at 605-280-4771. Yag Air for all your ag, chemical, and seed needs. Kyle, 605-280-8710 or Tony, 605-280-4771.
Sometimes you get a piece of it and the ball sails over the fence. Other times, despite your best efforts, you strike out. I'm not just talking about the game, I mean your day. This is Pastor Sam of Faith Lutheran Church. Whether today feels like a home run or a strikeout, I encourage you to join us for worship. We celebrate when God gives us a wonderful day. We provide support and encouragement when that third strike comes. Come join us for encouraging and uplifting worship at Faith Lutheran Church.
It looks like we're going to be getting back to playing some baseball here before we are done for the night, which is good to have as they are working on the mound right now. And the Eights are back on the field, and it'll be Dawson Getz that will come and pitch now for Post State with Cooper Twilliger getting close to the end of the line anyway. It's a 2-1 count that he's got to start with, but it's probably just better to, after a half an hour, what will end up probably being a 20-minute delay overall, will end up being a chance for Dawson Getz just to get on the mound and kind of feel like it's somewhat of a fresh inning to get going. So Dawson Getz will come in, and we'll see here if there's... So Miles Doyle will move over to short, it looks like. We'll have a second baseman come in and trying to see numbers here to make sure I get everybody right. It is going to be... Bridger Babcock that is in the ball game. So he will be the new second baseman. And so that'll be the change, and he will hit in the leadoff spot, which will be due up fourth in the bottom of the sixth inning. So everybody else will stay the same. Yeah, Bridger Babcock is at second, and so Dawson Getz now will be on the mound, and Doyle will move over to short. So here's the first pitch, which is a 2-1 count. First pitch will come inside for ball 3, and the count is 3-1 to Jackson Welke, who is still up at the plate, who is 0 for 3. Runner on at first with one out here in the top of the sixth. The 3-1 pitch is swing and a miss, and the count's now 3-2. So overall, it ends up being just shy of 20 minutes, about a 18-minute rain delay. So not terrible to have. 3-2 pitch. That will come inside. It'll be ball 4, and it's from first and second here with one out in the top of the sixth inning. Obviously, you'd like to not have a delay of any kind, but it is runners at first and second now here with the one out in the top of the sixth inning for Zane Backus, the number 3 hitter.
Very rare for a pitcher to come into a ball game and pitch only 3 pitches so far and end up with a walk. So if you're following on Game Changer, you might want to take a screenshot.
That one will be a line shot in left field for a base hit. They will hold up the runners at the second and third. The runner at second took a wide turn in Welke, but he will stop at second. And it's the bases loaded for now Casey Vining here with one out in the top of the sixth. And a chance to really do some damage here in the inning for Aberdeen.
And if you're the eights, this is the last guy you want to see up at the plate for the Smittys. The best hitter for Aberdeen in the box right now with the bases loaded and one out.
They will bring the infield all the way in around, so not even trying to go stay back for trying to turn two up the middle to end the inning, as the first pitch is fouled away by Vining on the right side, and the count's 0-1. Terwilliger goes 5 1/3 inning, giving up 7 hits. We can't close the book on him quite yet. 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, 5 runs, potential of 6, with 5 of those 4 earned right now, and a potential of 5 earned, as that one will be outside. The count's now 1-1. He threw 96 pitches, so his next availability would be next week in the doubleheader against Watertown on Tuesday, and potentially that or then on Wednesday, as there's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 1-2. Vining, who is 0 for 2, hit by a pitch in the second, ground out to the shortstop, which was Getz at the time, and then also struck out looking. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back by Vining, and the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's a good fight there from Vining. Really was uncomfortable on that curveball, but he just got enough of it to keep himself alive here with a 1-2 count and 1 out.
Here is the 1-2 now from Getz again to Vining. That one taken on the outside corner for strike 3, and a huge strikeout. Second time that Vining is down looking. And there's 2 down here in the 6th, and it brings up Philip Zenz with the bases still loaded.
Yeah, what a strikeout there by Getz. And that was almost the same pitch that Terwilliger got Vining out on that outside corner as Getz misses inside for ball 1. But essentially that same pitch, and Vining maybe thinks that that's outside of the zone, but on both occasions. But umpire rings him up both times, and he's down looking twice now in this ball game, as the count is now 2-0.
Getz slipped on that second pitch. You can see where his divot kind of is in front of the mound. But the count's 2-0 here to Zenz. 2-0 pitch will miss low and away, and the count's now 3-0. And no place to put him. Dawson Getz has got to go right after the hitter here. Come all the way back from a 3-0 count. 3-0 pitch. That's over for a strike, and the count's 3-1. Zenz, who is 1 for 2, walked, singled, and then reached on an error in his 3 trips to the plate. Here is the 3-1 pitch. That one's fouled back, and the count's now 3-2, and everybody will get a head start with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and a 3-2 pitch upcoming. So somewhere, not even really into the gap, just somewhere maybe down the line. Somewhere in the gap, but not all the way out of the wall, can easily score all 3 runs. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Getz will get 2 strikeouts to the inning and retire the side without any damage done. No runs on 2 hits, and there were no errors, and 3 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th, 5-2. Aberdeen is leading Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
AGE Corporation's Contractors and Crane Service is a proud supporter of Pierre Governor Athletics. For almost 60 years, AGE has been building South Dakota. For all your site work construction and crane work needs this season, AGE is here to help. Give them a call. AGE Corporation and Crane Service, 223-2732. That's 223-2732. AGE, proud supporters of local sports.
At AgTegra, we're leveraging the power of the cooperative to benefit our farmers and ranchers, their families, and local communities. We're creating jobs for your neighbors and putting money back into our communities. We're lending a hand in our rural fire departments, food banks, and 4-H and FFA programs. That's what local is all about. When you do business at AgTegra, you help us make a difference in your community. AgTegra, strong, stable, dependable, and local.
It is the bottom of the 6th. Post 8's down by 3 as it will be 7, 8, 9 here for the Eights. And if anybody reaches base, we go to the top of the order. So it'll be Simpson, Stalley, Peterson, and then Bridger Babcock will get a chance to swing the bat if anybody of the three reaches for post 8 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. As Lander will stay in the game pitching wise. Just turns into an extended inning off the mound instead of really being a longer delay and maybe it does kind of put him in a spot where he's not going to be able to throw well right off the bat. But hopefully for the Eights, they can make that happen and get him to struggle in his first couple at bats. But it will be Simpson, who has been hit by a pitch twice. We'll see if maybe he can extend that to a third straight hit. You are listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station. Emma Thielen is back at the station. Blake Dean, John Winkler here on this. Well, I'm John Winkler. He's Blake Dean. Or he's Blake Dean. I'm John Winkler. Either way, the two of us here on this Wednesday night as we are past 9 o'clock, past bedtime, and it is a 5-2 lead for Aberdeen.
If you're still here, we hope you know who we are.
We hope so.
Maybe not. If not, welcome.
You can see us on the bottom of the screen and that's how we're sitting too, is I'm on the left, he's on my right. But that's John Winkler and Blake Dean here on KCCR.
And you can find us on the X at the handles listed, not on your screen anymore.
Here hits the first pitch, and that'll hit Charlie Simpson. That's the third time he's been hit. I was kind of joking about him just being hit by a pitch, but that's the third time he's been hit in the ball game, and that one was a curveball that didn't break and didn't have much behind it. And Simpson, that's not, if you're going to get hit, that's how you're going to get hit. It's not going to hurt you by getting hit by a curveball that just kind of just rolls off your shoulder.
I beg to differ there, as the first pitch to Stalley is in the zone for strike one. I was facing a pitcher my senior year 10 years ago, and the guy was mainly known as Stalley pops this one up to shallow right center as center fielder in Solfrank.
Yeah, it looks like Solfrank on my.
It looks like something. Makes the catch for out number one. But going back to that point, I beg to differ on that because we were playing against a guy who mainly was known for throwing sliders. His slider was actually probably his primary pitch, and he only threw it about 70, 75 miles an hour. And I got plunked on the pelvis, right on the bone, and that thing hurt for 3-4 weeks, even though it was very slow pitch.
The count's 1-1 here to Nolan Peterson. I guess it depends on where you get hit.
Mm-hmm.
It can, if it's coming in soft, how Simpson got hit was probably how you want to get hit. But
true.
But you are right. It sometimes doesn't matter how fast it's coming in. This will be popped up. Runner was off to second. The catcher and Dudenhofer will be behind the plate to make the catch. And the second time that Dudenhofer has made a catch in foul territory behind home plate. And there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th, and it brings up Bridger Babcock, who is in the leadoff spots in the order. Carter Schuffelbein, who had one at-bat, grounded out, then was replaced by Cooper Twilliger, who was pitching and now comes in the game to play second and is in that spot. So Bridger Babcock will get a chance to hit 188 so far in the season, 3 for 16 overall. First pitch is over for strike one to Babcock. The 409 on base percentage, so while maybe the average quite isn't there, he does get a lot of times to walk, although he's now down the count 0-2 on 2 really good pitches by Ladner. Those are tough pitches to hit in the zone. Well, Ladner will try and get it into this bottom of the 6th. As he'll come set from the stretch and deliver the 0-2. Runner takes off, swing by Babcock. He'll foul that one off the other way. And the count remains at 0-2.
And I think the 400 on base is probably more indicative of the hitter that Babcock is rather than the 188 average, because there's been a lot of outs that he has had this year that have been really, really loud outs, hit hard just right at people.
Here's the 0-2 again. Swing and a miss and a strikeout of Babcock, and the retires aside. Here in the bottom of the sixth inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. We head to the seventh. 5-2 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Stolken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our number one priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. And Stolken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre. Brought to you by Limebach Construction Incorporated, who can build your recreational home or building along the beautiful lower Lake Oahe area. Whether if your hobby is hunting, fishing, travel, or water sports, we can come up with a building design that will fit your interests and expectations. We pride ourselves on using quality products, customer service, and open communication. Limebach Construction is locally owned and operated, serving the Missouri River community since 1994. For area of service and more information, contact Bill Limebach at 605-223-2738. That's 605-223-2738. It is the top of the seventh, and for Aberdeen, they will have 6, 7, and 8 with the chance to add on to this 3-run lead, as it will be Brandon Livermont that will lead things off against Dawson Guest, Jackson Ladner, and Donnie Soderlin. He might reach his base. Talon Dutenhofer will have a chance to come to the plate. Post-State will have 2, 3, and 4 at the bottom of the seventh, and they're hoping to keep this a 3-run deficit to the bottom of the seventh inning, as the 18-minute rain delay took effect in that top of the sixth inning. But we are now in the seventh, and the Eights will be trying to get at least a 3-run comeback, and hopefully all they would have to do is a 3-run comeback. But the count's 2-0 right now here to the leadoff man in Brendan Livermont. These 3 outs are important for Post-State. 2-0 pitch. That one's a fly ball into center field. George Stalley will camp underneath it. He'll make the catch, and the leadoff man retired. Here in the top of the seventh, and it'll bring up now the number 7 hitter in Jackson Ladner. It's a big first out in the top of the seventh.
Yeah, good job there by Getz to induce a fly out there for out number 1. Relatively quick out, and that will bring to the plate and will...
That's the third time Ladner has been hit by a pitch. So he's been on base all 4 times. He's come to the plate, but he's been hit 3 times, just like Charlie Simpson. Both are in the number 7 spot. So something about the number 7 hitter that these pitchers do not like.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Just unlucky number 7, I guess, tonight is all 3 guys have, or both guys in the 7 hole have gotten plunked multiple times in Ladner and Simpson.
And Stalley, who was in the 7 hole, also got hit in the first game. So a total of 7 hit by pitches between 4 games from the number 7 hitters in both orders, as the first pitch is a swing and a miss by Donnie Soderlin, who is 1 for 3, 2 RBI single in the second inning, which made it a 3-0 ball game at the time, and it stands up as the winning run at this point if no runs score from Post-State in the 7th. That'll get away from the catcher Peterson, as he couldn't block it up cleanly, and a wild pitch will allow Ladner to get to second. So stolen, or not a stolen base, but a wild pitch, and there's a runner on at second here with 1 out in the top of the 7th. Looking for his 3rd RBI is Soderlin. First pitch, or 1-0 pitch. I mean, the 1-1 pitch is outside. The count's now 2-1. I was eventually going to get there after, first pitch, 1-0, 1-1. Now it's a 2-1 count. Here is the 2-1 pitch from Getz. That would be fouled at the plate. The count's now 2-2.
You do a lot, though, to be fair. You're doing book, you're doing the board.
I appreciate you trying to make me not sound so bad. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one is taken for strike 3, and there's the second out here in the top of the 7th. 2 down, and it brings up the number 9 hitter in Talon Dutenhofer, who is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Rain is picked back up again here at Hyde Stadium. Now at this point, really, with 2 outs in the 7th inning, any kind of delay, if we would get into another one, you have to stick it out at this point. With this being the 7th inning, you can't end the game early now. As there's a ground ball to the right side. It'll be fielded by Bridger Babcock. His throw to first is offline. It'll be wild, and a run will come in to score. To second will go Dudenhofer, and a 6-2 lead here for Aberdeen with a runner on at second and 2 away.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that ball slipped out of Babcock's hands, but fielding that ground ball just never really looked comfortable, and ball got away from him, overthrew first baseman in Buckles, and another run comes in to score for the Smittys, making this a 6-2 ball game.
There's a ground ball that's fouled right at the plate by the leadoff man and Drew Southfrank, who is 1 for 4 with an RBI double. So an extra run here for Aberdeen in the 7th inning to take a 4-run lead. Here's the 0-1. That'll hit him. Second hit batter of the inning, and it's now first and second. Here with 2 outs at the top of the 7th, and it's Jackson Welke to come to the plate. And for Dawson Getz, you can't let this turn into a big inning. You're still within striking distance, a 6-2 game right now. Can't let this get away from you and have a crooked number put up there for Aberdeen in the 7th. Here's a ground ball again to the right side. That's going to get past Babcock into right field for a base hit. Runner will stop at third. So the bases are now loaded here with 2 away. And it will bring up Zane Backett. So now it's 3 and 4 here for Aberdeen, trying to extend a 4-run lead in the top of the 7th inning.
And again, the 2 guys that you don't want to come up to the plate in this spot is the guy currently in the left-handed batter's box and the guy following him who will be in the right-handed batter's box should this inning continue.
Backus was digging himself a hole in that left-handed batter's box, but it looks like he found some dry dirt around that left-handed batter's box. First pitch to him comes inside for ball 1. No place to put him. You got to go right after him here if you're Dawson Getz. First pitch missed inside for ball 1 as it nearly got him. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's a strike at the knees, and the count's now 1-1. Again, Post State will have 2, 3, and 4 due up in the bottom of the 7th inning. And now they need at least a 4 spot to extend the ball game. 1-1 pitch. That one is upstairs. Backus thought about offering at it, but was able to hold back. And the count's now 2-1. Playing him to pull the ball is Post State in the defensive side. 2-1 pitch. That one will miss upstairs, a little bit outside. The count's now 3-1.
Getz has really got to bear down right here.
This is a big pitch. Good hitters count with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 7th. 3-1. Be ball 4, and another run will score. And a 7-2 lead now here for Aberdeen in the top of the 7th. And now it's going to be Casey Vining that will come to the plate. He is 0 for 3, hit by a pitch in the 2nd, ground out to the shortstop in the 3rd, back-to-back backwards Ks in the 5th and 6th innings. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1.
Yeah, another guy you don't really want to see in the box if you're the Eights right now in Vining. Now he's got a 2-0 count as well.
A 2-0 count ahead for Vining with the bases loaded. 2 outs to the top of the 7th. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ground ball, third base side. Hunsley will field. It is a fair ball. He steps on the bag, and that should be the 3rd out.
Yeah, the home plate umpire called it a fair ball.
And so Hunsley, who is on the bag at 3rd, that'll be the 3rd out, and that will end the inning with only 2 runs scoring in the inning. A little bit of confusion at the end of that inning, but 2 runs do score as there were 1 hit, 1 error, and 3 men left on base. So we head to the bottom of the 7th. Post State needs a 5-run comeback. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Look, it's no secret that owning a vehicle can cause a lot of stress, and they get a lot of wear and tear on them through the extreme seasons we've grown to love. Graham Tire wants you to know that you can trust them with any problem that you have with your vehicle. Their ASE certified mechanics can make your AC cool again, or even just change your oil. They can look into and fix those noises that seem to come from nowhere and have you stressed out. Bring your car to Graham Tire so they can put your mind at ease. Graham Tire, your tire store next door.
Why am I so sore? There are everyday moments.
Hey, hold the ladder! Hold the ladder!
Yeah, that hurt. And there are epic moments.
Slide, slide, slide!
College!
Slide!
Class of 1995! When a moment creates a health need, visit the experts at Avera Orthopedics. We're moving health forward so you can tell the story. Learn more at avera.org/orthopedics.
So it is the bottom of the 7th, and Post State is down their final 3 outs. So they have 2, 3, and 4 to start. They need a 5-run rally. Sun and Shine, Doyle, and Getz will get things going. Buckles, Hunsley, Simpson, Stalley, Peterson would follow, but then back to the top of the order, which would be Bridger Babcock. But the 8s need 5 runs down their final 3 outs of this doubleheader, and in danger of falling to 1-13 of the season and 1-8 in South Dakota games before heading up to Minot starting on Friday and playing Friday, Saturday with a potential of a Sunday game at 10 a.m. And again, you look at for Post State, a potential right now 1-13 record. This is a team that's not really 1-13 and have shown some growth to be better than what their record is, but still, unfortunately, they're potential 2 outs now away, as that'll be a ground ball that'll be fielded by the shortstop in Zenz, and his throw to first will be dug out by the first baseman in Livermont, and 1 pitch and 1 out to open up the bottom of the 7th, and the A's are down their final 2 outs.
Yeah, nice play there by Zenz. Throw was a little bit tougher for him just with the wet grass and everything, but a really good scoop there by Livermont at first for the first out of the inning.
Somehow Miles Doyle digs in. First pitch to him is upstairs for ball 1. We'll get a chance to, again, get out on the road and play non-South Dakota teams Friday and Saturday with a doubleheader on schedule on Friday, and then a split 2 games to be played on Saturday in that 5-team round-robin tournament with the championship to be played on Sunday. Just trying to get some wins, and then Watertown, who is... Aberdeen is a very good team. You can say Watertown is an even better team that they'll play on the road on Tuesday before welcoming in Spearfish on Wednesday. So the road really doesn't get a whole lot easier. Spearfish lost 9-8 to Bellefouche just a little bit while ago, but that Watertown doubleheader is going to be 2 tough games. The 1-2 will miss inside. The count's now 2-2. But that also tells you if you can get a couple wins or at least 1 win against Watertown, that's a lot of seed points to pick up going into the end of the season. 2-2 pitch. That is outside, and the count's now 3-2.
Yeah, if you can pick up wins against a team like if they can make a comeback in this game like an Aberdeen or a Watertown, teams with fantastic records, that's really big in the seed point standings.
Doyle rips that one foul down the third base line as it will get into the corner, but it is foul, and the count remains at 3-2 here. To the number 3 hitter in the order for Post State in game number 2. As again, they're down to their final 2 outs here in the ball game. We'll have coverage starting at 2:15 on Friday for Pierre taking on Mandan. And then they'll take on South Central Cubs. There's a swing and a miss by Doyle and the strikeout, and there's 2 down. And Ladner is 1 out away from picking up a 5-inning relief performance of not allowing any runs and only allowing just 4 hits over those 5 innings.
That technically would go down as a save.
Yeah. Coming in with a 4-2 lead.
And pitching more than 3 innings.
In the top of the 3rd, yeah. So a really good performance by Ladner, but there still is 1 out left to get, and Dawson Getz will try and extend this ball game, and each Post State hitter will try and extend it one after another here to try and maybe get those 5 runs. Crazier things have happened. That's a big task, but you got to start somewhere. The 0-1 pitch will be missing inside. The count's now 1-1. Dawson gets, he is 1 for 3, singled in the third, flew out to the right fielder in the first and fifth innings. 1-1 pitch, ground ball on the left side. That'll be gobbled up by Zen. Says throw to first. That's the ball game. And Aberdeen will get a doubleheader sweep of Pierre with a 7-2 win in game number 2. We'll step aside for 2 minutes, come back and wrap it up here from Hyatt Stadium. You're listening to Post State Baseball on KCCR and watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
The Toyota truck family. Outlast and outlive every adventure. The Toyota Tundra is large and in charge with exceptional performance, making the powerhouse ultra-capable for practically any task. The Tundra delivers proper performance with a twin-turbo V6 engine and 10-speed automatic transmission for when the going gets rough. Whether you're conquering off-road trails or hauling the weight of the world, the Toyota Tundra at Capital City Toyota is offering great APR rates as low as 1.99% for 48 months, with other specials up to 72 months for qualified buyers. Contact a sales professional at Capital City Toyota today.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
As we welcome you back here, it is a final score of a 7-2 win for Aberdeen on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schoffelbein scoreboard. John Winkler alongside Blake Dean as the Eights fall here in game 1 and 2. A 8-0 win for Aberdeen in game 1, 7-2 win for Aberdeen in game number 2. And for Post State, Blake, this is another tough 2 losses that put them down to 1-13. And you see steps and you see some progress, but the Eights just can't seem to put it all together to get pickup wins.
Yeah, and I think that, the biggest thing to take away from this year, from this group is, just building upon, taking these games and learning from the things that you can take away from each game. Because, in all reality, both games tonight against a really, really solid Aberdeen squad are games where you hung in there. You gave yourself a chance in that second game, especially to put yourself in situations where it could possibly be a 1-run ball game or a tie ball game. A lot of times it's just the key hit that doesn't come at the time, at the right time, and that's the difference in the baseball game. But this is a team that will continue to learn, continue to build confidence with each game, because really, especially in that second game, you realized that this is a team that can hang with just about anybody in the state. Because to me, Aberdeen's probably a state tournament team come the end of the year. If you look at just record-wise, probably if you had to put 8 teams in the field, Aberdeen would easily be in the field right now. So something to take away from tonight is the fact that you can hang in there with a team that's going to be in the state tournament, and then continue to build positive momentum going into the rest of the season in the Minot tournament this coming weekend, and then the rest of the year, and look to build upon it next year as well.
It was a 7-2 win in game number 2. It was 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 12 men left on base for Aberdeen. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, and 8 men left on base for Pierre. Casey Vining, the winning pitcher. Cooper Twilliger will pick up the loss, and Jackson Ladner will get the save. Time of the ball game was 2 hours and 15 minutes with an 18-minute delay, so an hour and 57 minutes of total game time to be played as the Eights fall to Aberdeen in game number 2. They fall 8-0 and 7-2. Over the doubleheader, and now we'll be heading up to Minot to take on 4 different teams, a 5-team round-robin tournament. They'll play 2 games on Friday, 2 games on Saturday. Will be coverage starting at 2:15 on Saturday and 9:45. Make that 2:15 on Friday and 9:45 a.m. on Saturday, as we'll have coverage of those games for you on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. That'll wrap things up for us here from Hyde Stadium. Our next home game will be next Wednesday when the Spearfish team will come to town. We'll have coverage at 4:45 and first pitch at 5 o'clock, but make sure you join us this weekend and then also on Tuesday in Watertown as the Eights will take on Post 17 on the road as well on Tuesday. I want to say thanks to Emma Thielen back at the station. For Blake Dean, John McClure here signing off. The Governors make that Pierre Post State falls in both games 8-0 and 7-2 to Aberdeen as we say goodnight from Hyde Stadium.
You've been listening to Post 8 Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Post 8 Baseball is brought to you by Comtech, Bank West, Nystrom Electric, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, Lamb Motors, Todd's Electric, Edward Jones Financial, CHS River Plains, Wagner Auto, Jaeger, Faith Lutheran Church, Leinbach Construction, First Dakota National Bank, Avera, Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Shane's Pharmacy, Gales Gas, Oahe Federal Credit Union, May Adam, Fisher Rounds, Ferding Electric, True Green Chemlawn, Beck Motors, the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General, Division of Consumer Protection, Kruger Contracting, Egtegra, AGE Corporation Ready Mix, Stulkin Peterson LLP. Join us all season for Post 8 Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. This has been a special presentation of River